What's going on, guys? Welcome to No Reserve Radio. Thank you, Angelo, for starting the recording while I was in the middle of a sentence and I had to cut it off. Thank you for that.
That's so me. It was the best cold open ever. Go on.
So last week we missed an episode, obviously. There's reasons, but we're just going to chalk it up to it being a holiday and we were all busy with everything and other stuff going on. So back on it this week. A lot to talk about. We are now at the end of the season. Play-in tournament is currently going on. So this is going to be kind of all over the place, but still within a structure. So before we get into that, guys, it has been a week since we sat down here. What is going on?
I have gotten a lot of OT this last week, which would make a lot of sense because it's Easter. But other than that, I've been all right. Or
I've
was
just been living day to day.
Yeah, Austin was kind of telling me like everything he's got to do over the next few days. It's kind of insane. Like for me, there's a lot going on, but like it's all work related. So like I don't have anything like external going on this week. So before we move along, let's just get the question of the week out of the way before I forget it, because this I think is a fun one because I think I know Angelo's answer. What is one place? I think I know your answer. What is one place you have traveled to that you will never return to?
You know my answer.
I know your answer.
Do I know the answer?
You know the answer.
You definitely know the answer. Do you want me to start or who wants to start?
Go ahead and start.
Florida. Just screw Florida. Absolutely screw Florida. Your roads make no sense. Your names sound like they were made in like a kid's book. Like your city names, your people drive terrible. It's just terrible. Just screw Florida. Go on.
Full disclosure. What the hell is an Akron?
It's better than a take on onomatopoeia.
No. That sounds like someone asked, "Hey, what's the name of this town?" and dude sneezed. Cincinnati? Really? You're gonna
Sin City, yeah. You know. Rehn, look up some Florida names for me real quick.
Orlando, Miami.
No. Not those. Look up the suburbs around those areas now.
No, I have Zephyr Hills. That's a decent name.
No, that's not what he's talking about.
That is not what I'm talking about.
Look, I know there's like Christmas, Florida, and like things like that. I don't.
Not that either.
And it's not that either.
Okay, Austin, where will you never travel to while I Google?
While you educate yourself.
I mean, you could ask the Floridian some of the names, but
no, it's better to Google.
Okay.
Yeehaw
right.
Junction, Two Egg.
Actually, I drive past her all the time.
Howie in the Hills, Florida.
Someplace I will never go again.
Rainy breezes.
You know, I don't think I have a spot I won't go back to yet.
Yet.
So I guess to preface this question, like, how traveled are you? Like, states and international. Like how.
States just about. I've been to every state south of, on the East Coast at least, south of New York. I've been to California, been to Texas. International, I've been to Greece and Germany, been to the Bahamas. I get around a little bit.
So you've been
better than me.
So you've been to Alabama.
Yeah.
and you don't yet have a place you wouldn't go back to.
Mississippi.
No. Mississippi. So Mississippi is fun. Like they have good food. And like the coast. So like to be full disclosure, I've only been to the coast of Mississippi, and like it was a lot of fun. There's casinos everywhere. It's great. And the food was amazing. That is not mine. Mine is Arkansas. Just because there's nothing there.
Like, have you been to one of the
I would probably say Bahamas. I haven't been to the Dakotas yet. It's on the plan.
Okay.
The Dakotas are okay. Arkansas, there's literally just nothing there. Like the Dakotas at least have like nice scenery if you're into nature, which I am. You wouldn't go back. You like the Bahamas would be on the bottom. I really like. Where have you been in the Bahamas? Because I've been all over there. It's pretty fun.
I mean, it was just a cruise. It was just more like the Nassau Lake touristy area.
Pretty. Like it's pretty. Now, granted, like
It's pretty, but the
those street
people.
hustlers, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin comes back with full freaking braids in his hair from some woman on the street. She wouldn't say no. He rode one of those death cabs.
No, I know if someone tries to give you something, you don't take it.
100%. Yeah, look, if you hold something out, I'm grabbing it. It's a personal problem, but like I hold things.
That is bad.
It is. It has gotten me into some like.
We're testing this.
This is going to sound bad, but it's not meant bad. It's gotten me into some questionable things at work. So no, Arkansas should be at the top of your list, followed by Alabama. I'm just saying.
I'll be at Arkansas eventually.
It's there's nothing there. It's boring. Yeehaw Junction, that is a good one. I kind of get what you're saying, but I also feel like if I were to Google like worst city names,
See, you're
Ohio,
not getting the Native American derivative words like Okeechobee, Kissimmee.
I saw some of those.
Wacahoochee.
But like Okolona, Ohio, Put-in Bay, Ohio, Mexico, Ohio, like Coolville, Ohio, Guysville.
Hey, Coolville is nice, man. Come on now. It is literally a city that sounds like a Scooby-Doo place. How can you not like you know what?
I'm just saying, like Lima, Chillicothe, Wapakoneta. Now, granted,
By the way, we call it Lima.
Any of these, and I am never going to. Okay, so wasted enough time on that intro.
Yeah.
Segues are cool. So, season wrapped up.
Indeed.
What are your guys' final thoughts on this season? Was it a season? Did you enjoy this season? What are surprises from this season? What are letdowns from this season? What are you looking forward going into the future for the teams? Like, let's keep this more closely related to the teams that did not make the playoffs, since we're going to be dedicating half the episode to the teams that did make the playoffs.
Okay, can my biggest surprise be the Lakers actually pulling out a playoff spot?
Okay, so it is, but the bigger surprise is they got rid of Russell Westbrook, and that kind of secured them a playoff spot. I did not think, like, you can go back on the tape, I did not think they were going to be able to get out from under that contract, and I thought that was going to hamstring them. So yeah, that is definitely a big surprise. For me, the biggest surprise is probably the Mavericks. Basically just everything that has happened over the past few weeks leading up to Mark Cuban getting investigated for his smiling when they missed a three-pointer.
Oh, yeah.
And so, now you go ahead.
What kind of 4D chess are they theorizing he's playing here?
I don't think they are. I just think they were looking for any excuse to investigate someone for tanking. But here's the thing. Have you not seen the Portland Trailblazers? Have you not seen the Indiana Pacers? Like, full honesty from a Pacers fan, the last couple weeks were absolutely embarrassing as a basketball fan.
All right. I guess kind of hot take. I know why they're tanking down and tanking, but I don't find that to be a problem, honestly.
What, tanking?
Yeah, it's part of.
I don't think it is. I don't think it should be.
It's not a problem.
No.
So here's like, is it a problem if I'm trying to think of a team. Is it a problem if I can't think of a team right off the top of my head that it would fit for.
What are you trying to even say?
A team that would tank the 76ers?
No. So let me. So let's say Joel Embiid is healthy, right?
Yep.
They sit Joel Embiid for to tank for a better shot at Wembanyama. So
Sure.
now you've added Victor to a team with Joel Embiid. That is a problem to me. The bad teams should not be fighting for the fact that they are bad because they are already bad. It should not be a race to the bottom, is what I'm saying. I think that is the problem. You are a fan of just loading the top teams with talent and not caring about the rest of the league, I know. But in terms of parity within the league, you kind of have to be against tanking if you're a fan of parity. I know you are not, so that's why you don't have a problem with tanking. But again,
I still think you can have parity and you can have tanking.
here, let me just pull up some stats here real quick. So, final game of the season, okay?
Sure.
What are your takes on Jonathan Williams,
Okay.
Trendon Watford, Skylar Mays, Justin Minaya, John Butler Jr., Chance Comanche, and Jabari Walker? All of these players got over 20 minutes in the final game of the season for the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Let me say this again. Jonathan Williams played 5 games this season. He's played 5 games in his career. He's 24 years old. He has started 5 games in his career. You don't have a problem with Jonathan
I
playing
know.
31 minutes in a game.
I absolutely do not.
Why? It's if Damian Lillard is available to play, Damian Lillard should be playing.
My question for you is, why do you want all, whatever league you have, 30, 32 teams? There's 30 in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. Why do you want all teams playing at all times during all points of the season? There's going to be situations where you want to secure a better draft position, or you want to maintain the health of your players, or you've secured a playoff spot, you've secured your seeding, and you want to sit your players. Like,
Because
why do all the players have to play all the time with all the effort?
It goes back to the fact that this is an entertainment industry. We've talked about it repeatedly on this podcast because this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. But if you were to put, I used this analogy last time, if you were to put on Avengers Endgame and Captain America just decided not to be there because he didn't really feel like it, that doesn't work.
But you're not. Every game isn't Avengers Endgame. That's the NBA Finals.
But
What you're saying is
being
you
sold.
want Chris Evans to be in the spin-off show of the other spin-off show of the show on Netflix.
No.
Why? Yes. No, that's absolutely what you're saying when you say that you want game like 82 your starters. No, it doesn't have to be like that.
No, because if I put on She-Hulk, I'm not expecting Captain America to be there. If I'm putting on a Captain America
Game 82
movie,
is She-Hulk.
no, Game 82 is the Houston Rockets, or She-Hulk is the Houston Rockets. It's a completely different team. You're comparing 2 different things here. So, this is an entertainment industry. You are selling tickets, you are selling advertising rights. There should be an expectation for who's going to be there. You should be able to we should be able to have predictions about the season, about the playoffs. So, yeah. I'm sure tanking's going to be addressed by the NBA. They always say they're going to, but with Adam Silver potentially being on his way out, maybe if we get someone more hardlined. Side note, Timberwolves. Did you all see the little flare up on the bench the other night?
I did not. I was too busy watching LeBron celebrate.
Yeah, you mean the shot by Rudy?
Yeah, Rudy
Oh,
punched him.
that!
Yeah. So Rudy is apparently suspended for this game. That is
The
about
play-in game?
start.
The
Or that
second play-in game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought he was suspended the first playoff game.
so he suspended the first play-in game, which they lost. So he'll be back for the next one. Against whoever.
Oh, okay.
Side note: we're recording this episode a day early, because we were all super busy.
By the way, they'll play the winner of the Thunder Pelicans. That's whoever is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Bulls Raptors is about to tip off. What else is there? So on the flip side, because tanking was really prevalent, one of my letdowns for the season was the Pacers' last game.
Pacers' last game?
Okay, if they were at home, it would be one thing, but Pacers were set to be the 5th worst team in the league, right? That's fair. They were resting Halliburton, Turner, quite a few people. They were full tank mode.
Yeah.
Last game of the season, on the road, they decide to go for the win at the end of the game. They win the game. They go from having the 5th best odds for the first overall pick to the 9th.
That's your disappointment when you just said you wanted... What?
Look. I want it gone. But if everyone else is gonna do it, like you're hamstringing yourself by not, right?
Oh my God.
I can be morally opposed to it, but still see it as something that has to happen.
Oh my God. That's...
How is that wrong?
My man, that is like me being like, man, I'm so glad the Cavs made the playoffs this year, but darn it, they didn't play anyone with their secured What?
So you've said it before. You've said it before on this podcast. You are a larger baseball fan than a basketball fan, correct?
Generally, yeah.
So your experience with sports is generally not players playing every game. So that's why you don't see the flaw in it. Because if you're watching baseball, you're going in with the expectation you're not going to see the same pitcher every night. That's the way it is. That's not how basketball works.
Is there... that is how basketball works because there aren't very many players who play all 82 games. So.
Austin, you've been relatively quiet while we've been...
Okay.
What is your biggest...
I've just been enjoying this.
What has been your biggest surprise or disappointment so that Angelo and I can argue over that?
I said the Lakers.
You did. You actually started us off.
Yeah, it's me who has it. Mine's kind of surprising.
So go ahead.
So we want to talk about stories. You did the Mavericks. The Mavericks were pretty good. But I think you said this is a story-driven league.
Yes.
I think the best story out of all the teams that didn't make the playoffs, I mean, I guess you could argue Trailblazers, but that's irrelevant. It's the Jazz. They went from the start of the season, no one expected them to do anything, to, oh my God, they're winning so many games. They had the 1 seed at the West at one point, to cooling off, and now they're fighting for the play-in tournament, to trading for Russell Westbrook. And at that moment, I don't know if I think I maybe alluded to it, but I didn't exactly say it. We knew the wheels were falling off at that point. They were going for the wheels to fall off, and the wheels fell off. I think from top to bottom, the Jazz have been the best story in the NBA as far as the teams that haven't made the playoffs. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a heck of a roller coaster, man.
I'm pulling up my news app right now to see if there's breaking news of people floating into the sky, cats and dogs living together. Because all season, this man has been trashing the Utah Jazz.
Yes, but here's the thing. My nightmare scenario, I said this on air, was the Jazz getting that last spot over the Lakers. When that Westbrook trade happened, that evaporated. I knew the Jazz were done in the water. So they're where they belong to me. I'm a happy camper with the Jazz. I can appreciate the roller coaster that was the Utah Jazz this year now.
So full situational awareness here. What you're doing is giving them a backhanded compliment. like you're praising them for what they did,
Yeah.
but you're also saying, like,
Hey. All good. Hey, the Jazz were a good story, man.
So going back to the Mavericks, we should have talked about this when we first brought it up.
I couldn't believe it.
I
couldn't believe it.
You couldn't believe what?
They fell that hard.
You're surprised. Do you not recall on this podcast, trade deadline episode?
Out of the playoffs run, though?
Again, trade deadline episode. What did I say about the Kyrie Irving trade? If you don't remember, it was they were hedging their bets on a crazy man.
Yes.
Since the Kyrie Irving trade, they went like 9-17. It didn't make sense on paper. It was just getting another superstar to say they got another superstar. And they really kind of went all in on Kyrie Irving. And now it sounds like Kyrie doesn't want to re-sign there because Kyrie wants to go to LA, which we all knew. And now there's all these rumors that Luka is going to request a trade potentially as soon as the summer, and then Luka's saying, don't listen to the media. And Luka, for all intents and purposes, does not seem like someone that's going to just up and leave a franchise. So
He should. But go on.
We'll get to you in a second. Pipe down. So when he says that we can ignore the media, I feel like he's being sort of honest there. That said, him not being in the playoffs is strange to me. Just because it felt like even with the Kyrie trade, they were going to be good enough to get in. But this has also been the closest, I think, in my memory, top to bottom, East and West, that the league has ever been in terms of those final few days playoff races. I don't know. I still think Luka's home is going to be Dallas. I think Dallas will build a team around him. I think they've got the assets still to go out and get another piece. I just don't think it was Kyrie Irving. I never thought it was Kyrie. Luka needs, it's almost... Giannis is the closest example. You just need to surround him with high-quality shooters that can defend. That's all you need around Luka. You don't need a secondary ball handler. You don't need an elite point guard. You just need someone that can shoot when he gets on the ball and play defense, because Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic is not something that teams are planning around in terms of defense. But go on, tell me all about Luka, Angelo.
I mean, I said what I was going to say. He should go. I would go.
Yeah, we know you would go, but why should he go? What has the team done wrong?
Collapsed.
But why is that on the franchise? Would you...
Did you or did you not say they hedged their bets on a madman?
I did.
You did. You said that. I didn't say that. You said that.
Did not. I did, yes. I'm asking you.
So...
Because you and I had different opinions on that.
That's true, and I was wrong.
Okay, hold on. I think my weather app's wrong because it's not telling me it's the apocalypse right now.
Guy. He's a funny guy.
Oh, do you not think, even in hindsight, because you can admit you're wrong now, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But if you're in Luka Doncic's shoes, right, and you have your mentality that you had at the trade deadline, does that not seem, since they did hedge their bets on Kyrie Irving, that the team was willing to make moves, go out and get a secondary star?
Yes.
Does that, the fact that it doesn't work out, that has no bearing on the team. The team was trying.
I mean, yes,
So
the team
why
was
would
trying
Luka want out if the team is going to try?
because whether you like it or not, the NBA is a results-driven league, and the result came back negative.
That one.
So there you go.
I don't know. Austin, you've been quiet.
Again, I'm just enjoying this.
So let's shift gears a little bit. Move along to something else related to the end of the season. Are there any changes to... I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't remember our ballots from earlier in the season. But if you can, are there any, at least in your head, major changes in terms of MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, whatever? I think we're all in the same boat. I think we all picked Paulo Banchero to win Rookie of the Year, and I don't think that's changed at all.
No, it hasn't.
No.
Defensive Player of the Year, I think I said Jaren Jackson, and
Yes,
that
you did.
hasn't changed.
Yeah. No, that was another obvious one.
I think that one was a consensus between all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we all, and I know we
MVP
differ on this.
is the big one.
know we all differ on this because we've already had these conversations. So I think I said Luka Doncic at the start of the season.
Yep.
I think Austin, what did you say? Did you say Luka as well?
Believe so.
It sounds like something I would have said.
And then Angelo probably said LeBron.
No. Well, the last time we talked about MVP, I had Embiid.
So mine has switched, obviously.
Join me.
It's Jokic.
He didn't.
It's
join
not,
me.
but
So we can talk about this. We can talk about this right now. Austin, who is yours?
Embiid.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Objectively bad.
Objectively bad. If I had a vote, I'm not voting for Stat Paddington. It's okay.
Stat Paddington.
Stat Paddington. Yes, I called him Stat Paddington.
So, do you know there is a way to tell when someone is stat padding, right? It's Angelo's favorite term, advanced metrics.
Ugh.
No, okay. So,
Yep.
time out. We're gonna go to the group chat for a second here. So, if I bring up like offensive win shares, Angelo makes that noise. That ugh. But Cameron and Angelo in our group chat will talk about the most ridiculous, obscure, pointless baseball advanced metrics I have ever heard in my life. Like they're freaking religious texts.
Do you know what Uzi is?
Do I know what is?
Uzi.
I don't.
Okay.
So, do you know what the metric is for judging a player's entire arsenal, really? Like their whole contribution to their team? We call it player efficiency rating, PER, right? Do you know who's leading the league in PER?
I imagine it's your boy.
It is Nikola Jokic. So we have this thing called true shooting percentage, right? The true shooting is it's a coalesced way to actually judge someone on shooting, combining all forms of shooting, whether it's at the rim, three-pointer, free throw, whatever. Do you know who's leading the league in true shooting percentage?
Didn't Jokic have a game where he literally only took 12 shots?
It's Jokic. Jokic is leading. Do you know what offensive win share is? It's the expected wins added by that player. Do you know who's leading the league?
It's war in baseball. But
it's Jokic. Do you know who's winning total win share? It's Jokic. Do you know who's winning win share per 48 minutes? It's win share. Do you know who's leading opponent box or offensive box plus minus per game? It's Jokic. Do you know who's winning defensive box plus minus? It's Jokic. Do you know who's leading most box plus minus? It's Jokic. Do you know who's leading value over replacement player?
It's Austin, Jokic. That's probably more references to box than Rehn's made in his whole life, right there.
Are you ready for me to list off all the metrics that Joel Embiid is leading in the NBA?
Oh my God.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I need confirmation from you guys. Are you ready?
So before you list this very short list, do MVP voters all look at advanced analytics like they do in baseball? Yes or no?
Most, yes.
Most?
Yes. I would say most do, yes.
Okay, go on then.
So I need the confirmation. Are you guys ready for me to list the categories of stats that that Joel Embiid is leading in the NBA? Are you ready? I need your confirmation.
Yes, go
I'm
ahead.
ready.
It's none of them. I know. It's
Do
okay.
you want me to do it again?
It's okay.
It's
okay.
0. He
Yes,
is not leading.
aware.
Okay, so what would be your biggest critique of Nikola Jokic's game?
He's
It's
not.
going to be defense, right?
That's not that, but go on.
All of his metrics are better than Embiid's. Jokic in every facet of the term is the better overall player. The only thing Joel Embiid is better at
Points per
is
game.
stat padding points per game. I would like you to attempt to tell me I'm wrong because it would be hilarious. Jokic's usage.
Jokic means more.
27%.
Jokic means more. Embiid means
Embiid's
more
usage,
to the Sixers than Jokic
37%.
to the Nuggets.
I'll say it again. Jokic 27% usage, Embiid 37%. So do not sit here
Yes,
and
that means he gets the ball more and he's more important to the offense for the 76ers than Jokic is to the offense for
do
the
not
Nuggets, which
do
kind
not
of contradicts your entire thing of, do you know who leads the offensive box plus minus? It's Nikola Jokic. No, it's
no.
Embiid.
The point of all of that was for me to come back here and say, do not tell me Nikola Jokic is stat Paddington
He kind of
when
is.
every efficiency metric goes in Jokic's favor. Stat padding is not efficient. It's the Russell Westbrook, the James Harden. It's not efficient. The more
Really?
efficient player is
You don't
not the
you
stat
don't
padding.
think you could stat pad efficiency if you wanted?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic shot 63% from the field. Embiid shot 54%. Do you want to know what the difference in their attempts were? Because I can tell you. Hold on.
I'm
This
guessing
man,
Jokic took a lot less, right?
15.8 for Jokic compared to 28.8 per Embiid.
And you don't think that's stat padding efficiency?
Do you want to see the difference in their assist percentage? Their assist turnover rate?
This guy.
Do you want to know those? Because I can tell you.
Guy.
I'll tell you right now.
Jokic is gonna be your darling for a while, I have a feeling.
I'm just saying,
I'm not sold.
do not.
I'll tell you when I'm sold. I'm not
Hey,
sold.
You can go out and be a game watcher.
I can't wait until Embiid wins the MVP and Rehn has to sit here and list all those stats that he just listed. He was this and he was that and he was that. But it didn't matter because the MVP is the most valuable player. And to their team, Joel Embiid is more valuable to the 76ers than Jokic will ever be to the Denver Nuggets.
He's not, because he's a
He
more complete
is.
player.
He is.
He's not.
How many games without Embiid would the 76ers have lost?
That's
They wouldn't be in the playoffs.
playing
They wouldn't
game
be in the
what?
playoffs.
Yeah, I could
They
say
would.
the same thing about Nikola Jokic.
With all that?
With what?
With all that the Nuggets got healthy, you don't think they would have been a playoff team without Jokic?
I don't think when you have the player with the highest player efficiency rating in the league, if he was to suddenly not be on your team anymore, I think that would hit you pretty hard, honestly. Just call it a theory. Dude averaged a double-double, or a triple-double, but sure, yeah, they wouldn't take that hit at all.
I'm not saying they'd be the same. I'm just saying they'd still be in the playoffs. The 76ers are not a playoff team without Embiid.
The
They would
amount
absolutely be in
of
the
points
playoffs.
Jokic creates. No.
Okay.
No. Also, Jokic played more games, and availability is important. I'm looking through this, and there's just not. The only argument you can make is if the only thing you do is watch the box score and you say, "Oh, Embiid scored a lot of points. Wow, it's cool." But the game of basketball is more than just scoring. There is a whole plethora of things you need to be able to do or should be able to do. Jokic, more rebounds. Jokic, significantly more assists. Jokic, better defensive splits. The only thing Embiid was better in was points. If you're just going to say points are the only thing that matters, sure, great, good. But the better overall player, the most valuable player, is Jokic. Whether the voters agree with that or not, that's just looking at their games side by side. It's Jokic.
That's going to be a sweet victory lap. That's all I know.
Outside of that, what were most improved player? That's still Markkanen. I think we all said Markkanen.
Yeah. I think I said SBA if they wanted to go with the trend of superstars being MIP, but yeah, it should be Markkanen.
What else? I don't want to get into coach of the year or anything like that. That's all confusing at this point.
Not the Hawks coach.
Not the Hawks coach.
Let's talk about the Hawks real quick.
Oh God.
So, ownership supposedly gave their front office permission to trade, or the green light to trade everyone on the team if they so wanted to, and that included Trae Young.
Interesting. They seem like they have a lot of faith in him.
I feel like there's a difference between ownership and the front office, so we can start with that if you want, unless you think the billionaire who spent money on a team as a hobby has a better pulse on basketball than a general manager who's dedicated their life to the game. I would ask you that question. Do you think a rich dude that just wanted to buy a team is more in tune to basketball than coaches?
I'm just saying, if Trae Young was him, then a rich dude who just bought a basketball team wouldn't be saying he could be traded if.
So let me.
I'm just saying, if the Cavs ownership changed in the middle of LeBron James's run, you think they would be like, yeah, everyone can go and quit? No. No, he wouldn't.
Let me just.
You think it would happen to Steph Curry? No, it wouldn't.
So let's say Jeffrey Bezos decides to buy, I don't know, the Bucks, and for whatever reason he just doesn't like Giannis, and so he says, "You can trade anyone, including Giannis."
It wouldn't happen.
It could.
It would not happen.
So the NBA released a memo today to their teams that they need to cut spending, cut costs, cut like everything because they're not hitting their financial goals, which is a running theme. I don't know. Oh, you guys do, but like, I don't know how like much anyone listening follows like financial news or anything. But you know, the economy's kind of in a drain right now. It's not going so great from a business perspective. So the NBA is cutting costs. So if an owner was like, you know what, we need to cut costs, they would trade Giannis. Because again, what is the most important thing to rich people? Their money. So I don't take much stock in that. I did like the fact that Trae kind of seemed to mature a little bit and didn't really react to the questions from the media. He did apparently get into it on the sideline with some people, but I don't know. I don't think you get the value of Trae Young in a trade. Side note, I did not know this, but Nikola Jokic's nickname is Big Honey, which is a much better name than Proel or the Phantom of the Process.
The Phantom of the Process is just an S tier name. First off, that's wrong. You're just wrong on that. You're just wrong on that.
What it says on B-Ball Reference.
No, it's a great name. You're wrong.
That's horrible.
It's a great name.
It's also his other nickname is Duo 180. Jokic's is Big Honey, Cookie Monster, Yolk, and the Big Tipper. I'm down for all of those. Play-in tournament. Play-in tournament. You guys watched the games yet? Probably not, because
it was literally yesterday, and I had to work. Yeah. I did get to see a few highlights. LeBron seemed like he was having fun.
Yeah, LeBron seems young right now. I think
I saw him diving for a ball. I was shocked. I was like, "What?"
Getting back to the playoffs.
Anthony Davis almost sold the game.
Don't worry, he tried to sell the game, and now he's gonna miss 2 weeks. Hawks, y'all know I'm like the disrespect that Angelo has for Trae Young is hilariously the disrespect I have for Jimmy Butler. So, from my perspective, seeing the Hawks shellac the Miami Heat,
Jimmy was trash.
Jimmy is trash. You're right.
Jimmy is trash. Did Jimmy play trash? Go ahead.
He played like trash.
Okay, then so did Trae Young.
No, Trae Young won, and he almost had a double. Remember, winning's all that matters, nothing else.
Facts.
That's an Angelo quote.
Yeah, just win, baby.
So then we had the where is it? So tonight we have Bulls, Raptors, Thunder, Pelicans. Who do you guys got for that game? For those games?
Bulls, Raptors, Thunder, Pelicans.
I have Bulls, just because I think they're a better team than the Raptors right now. And then Thunder, I am actually going to take the Thunder over the Pelicans because if I haven't checked today, but from my understanding, Zion is still out, and I think that's going to really play into that. And I just think SGA really wants to get into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, so you can lose in the first round.
You are becoming a mini Angelo, and it is annoying.
This is great. So I actually think the Pelicans will win against the Thunder. And I do have Bulls over Raptors. And I do have Bulls over Raptors. I think you're right on that one.
Okay, so that one we agree with.
Yeah.
So,
I have Bulls over Raptors as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm with Thunder over Pelicans.
Okay.
So
I like being on the island.
There's really not a lot to talk about for the play-in until after all the games are done. So
then we'll know seeding and all that and matchups.
So you guys should have pulled up an NBA playoff bracket.
Yep.
If you didn't, you're doing it wrong. So let's go ahead and talk about our predictions for the first round. Let's keep it just to the first round. We'll have a whole episode dedicated to the playoff. I mean, we're pretty much the next month and a half is going to be playoffs. So
yes,
let's talk about the first round. We'll start with the 1 and 8s from each conference.
Okay, are we going to assume it's Timberwolves, or should we just?
We're going to assume it's our own picks.
Okay.
Because, look, okay, so you might say the Lakers will beat the Nuggets, but I don't see either of these one seeds.
The Lakers don't play the Nuggets, but yeah.
They wouldn't?
No. The Lakers are playing the Grizzlies. That's confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I would have the balls to say the Lakers are beating the Nuggets. Go on.
So let's talk Eastern Conference 1-8.
Okay.
Which for me, I mean, I'm gonna say the Bucks. Yeah.
That's not a hesitation for me. It's the Bucks too. No matter who I would have.
Whether it's the Heat or the Raptors or Bulls, it's the Bucks.
Yeah,
that's an easy one.
Yep.
So 1-8 on the West Coast. That would be. This is hard because since we're not fully done.
Nuggets versus Pelicans, Thunder, Timberwolves. So
Nuggets, no matter what.
I've got the Thunder, but it's this one's another easy one for me. It's the Nuggets.
Man, yeah, I gotta go with the Nuggets too.
Yeah,
I thought you were about to say no.
So,
I mean, if Zion was there, I might hesitate.
Yeah, I think
Stop
like
it.
that's playing a part into it for me.
100%. If Zion was there, I might pull that trigger. Yeah.
I actually agree with Angelo here. I think Zion is a game changer if he's healthy. There's no think. Like, we all know that. If you don't know that, you haven't been paying attention for the past few seasons.
So you think Zion can take over your potential MVP? Let's not be an MVP then.
So you weren't here, and I don't know if you listened to the episodes, but I'm pretty sure in one of our first episodes, like the 1, 2, or 3 when we had Adam, I think I actually predicted in my preseason predictions that Zion would be MVP.
You did.
I did. I was really high on Zion going into the season because it seemed like he was taking like his health and fitness very seriously. That fell apart by the midway point, and that was why it changed to Luke. 2-7 on the East, so this one is already locked in. This is Boston versus the Hawks. This is another easy one for me. Like, this is Boston. It is theirs to lose. Do I think that there is a chance for an upset? Sure. I think this is probably in the Eastern Conference. I think this is the most likely upset. Looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference, this is the most possible upset. I don't think it's because Boston is that good.
You don't need to ask me, so go ahead and ask Austin.
For him, it's Boston. Just in case you.
It's Boston.
Home. So Austin, you're taking Boston as well.
Absolutely. There's the only one right answer.
All right, 2-7 in the West is Memphis versus Lakers. I think this is the one that's going to be interesting. So I want to say the Lakers just because I want Ja Morant to lose. I want him to be humbled.
You want who?
Dylan Brooks, Ja, and
who's Ja?
Demetrius. I want Demetrius. Good callback. I want Demetrius. I want Dylan Brooks. Like, these guys I want to lose. I want Jaren Jackson to win. I just don't know if the Lakers have it in them. It's going to take LeBron playing like 48 minutes a game. They're going to like run out of freaking duct tape in Los Angeles trying to hold Anthony Davis together against Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
I want the Lakers to win. I don't think they will.
So,
Angelo?
Oh, you want me to go next?
Yeah.
So, everything you said is right, and my head is screaming Memphis. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going with the Lakers. I think there's an off chance that AD just goes bonkers. There's an off chance LeBron.
No.
Yes, there is. Stop it. There is an off chance AD can go bonkers.
If this was against another team, sure. But Jaren Jackson is who he's going to be matched up against.
I'm sorry, but if I'm not mistaken, earlier in this episode, Rehn brought up a stat that sounded completely made up, which was something like defensive box metrics or whatever. Who was leading in that? Was that Jaren Jackson Jr. or was that Jokic? I'm just curious.
No, Jokic wasn't leading into, or no, Jokic was leading in it.
Yeah. So okay, so if AD can take him to task, AD can take Jaren Jackson to task. Right? Wrong?
You should understand what defensive box plus minus is, since you don't.
I know, you're right.
So absolutely. You know in hockey how we have box plus minus? Like, if you're on the ice for a goal scored, you get a +1. If you're on for a goal against, you get a -1.
Yep.
So box plus minus in basketball works the same way. The box, like the offensive and defensive specifically, is your impact in those roles. So having Denver plays better defense than Memphis is what I'm saying. However, Jokic is the leader. Yes, you are correct there. But Jaren Jackson is a much better. Like, there's not a single person on this planet that will consider Nikola Jokic a better defender than frickin' Jaren Jackson. It's just not happening.
Interesting.
So, no.
But you can't cheese analytics.
What?
Anyway.
Moving to 3-6 in the East, we got 76ers in Brooklyn. I take it back. I think this is probably the most likely 3-6 upset. No. Oh, in the East. In the East, this is the most likely upset. And even then, it's very unlikely.
You think Brooklyn takes over Philadelphia?
No.
I don't trust Joel Embiid to be healthy for an entire series.
Wow.
MVP.
Interesting.
Availability is an important part of it.
This guy.
As you said, they need Joel Embiid. Without Joel Embiid, the 76ers are nothing. I just don't trust Joel Embiid to be healthy.
Almost like that makes him the most valuable person.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like that makes him the most valuable player on his team. That is so
weird. Is you didn't note the mocking tone to my voice as I was making fun of your terrible takes.
It's so weird.
So who do you guys have in Brooklyn, Philadelphia? Because I have Philadelphia. I'm just saying the most likely upset in the East is going to be this one because all it takes is Joel Embiid to go down in this series is going to Brooklyn.
Okay, that's a fair point, but I'm still giving it to Philly.
I'm giving it to Philly too. I'm retroactively fixing my because I said earlier that the 2-7 was the most likely upset in the East, but this is the most likely upset in the East.
Rehn retconning things that statements he made 10 minutes ago. Let's go.
It wasn't 10 minutes ago, but 3-6 in the West. That's going to be Sacramento versus Golden State. This is going to be a really good series. This is going to be a really good series. I am riding high. I'm all the chips are down. I'm going all in Sacramento. Sacramento is making it to the NBA Finals. That's my prediction right now. I'm making it right now.
You're a mad lad.
So with that said, I'm going the Warriors.
I'm going the Warriors too.
But for why?
But
for Stephen
Curry. What you just said is blasphemy. Yeah. Look, Curry is not losing.
He's not losing
against the Kings. At least not against the Kings.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask. Was are you saying they're going all the way?
I think it's going to be a Suns Warriors conference finals with the Suns taking it.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. That means Rehn. I'm gonna give this away to the people at home. That means sometime in the next round, the Nuggets are losing to Austin.
Yep.
Thank you. I know. I can read.
Okay, I'm just saying.
4-5. So let's finish out the East here. Cleveland versus New York.
Do you have to ask me?
This is.
Do you have to ask anyone?
It's Cleveland.
Okay.
The only reason I might not give it to them. No. Let me. Is they don't have a lot of playoff experience. That's the only.
I mean, Mitchell does.
But as a team, they just. I'm not saying they're gonna lose. I'm just saying that's the only thing you can hold against them is like playoff basketball is completely different.
And the Knicks do?
That's fair, but I think the better team is more likely to get cocky going into it. And I think everyone in the league knows the Cavs are better than the Knicks. But if you go into a playoff series super confident, and then once the coaches start, holding those short leashes and kind of forcing that grit and grind basketball, I think that benefits New York more than Cleveland.
Yeah.
Fair.
I still have. I think Cleveland wins it in 6. We should have been predicting series numbers too.
I would have said 5. We can go back.
I'd say 5 on that.
We'll jump through. We'll jump it through it real quick when we're done here.
Yeah, we can. I was say we can retcon stuff that we did 10 minutes ago. It's okay.
And on the West, let's finish it out. Phoenix 4, LA Clippers 6. We know what Austin.
You know my answer.
It would have been real funny if you picked the Clippers here. Oh god, this is like picking whether I would rather have nails go down a chalkboard or get stabbed in the face by those nails. I don't want. Is there an option where neither of them win?
This guy.
I'm gonna give it to Phoenix, just because I think Booker is at this point in all of their careers the best player in that series.
KD?
Oh, holy crap. I just brain farted the fact that KD is there. Okay, never mind. This is easily Phoenix. I completely forgot KD was there.
Is my take less wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. You're still wrong.
I'm still wrong, but I'm less
still
wrong.
You're less wrong, but you're still wrong. So yeah, it goes to Phoenix.
I cannot believe you forgot KD was on that team.
Listen. I expected KD to go to like Denver or Boston or something. Let's be real here. Not Phoenix. So in my head, I see him going to teams that have won something or came.
I'm changing my mind. Suns all the way.
Suns all the way.
CP3 gets a ring his final year.
Oh my god!
Austin has changed like his finals appearances like 5 times already.
Let's go ahead and
Good.
Just drop this now. If Chris Paul wins a ring this year, I'm taking a break from basketball. that is something I never want to see. So
this guy.
Series 1, we have the Bucks winning. I'll take the Bucks in the 4.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a sweep. I also think Denver will be a sweep, but I'll say it's 5. I think it'll be a gentleman sweep.
Okay.
I think it depends on who they're matched up with, but yeah, I give it 4 or 5.
2-7 Boston, Atlanta. I think that's going to 6, maybe 7, with Boston winning it.
I'm saying 5.
Yeah, I'm saying 5 or 6 too.
2-7 Memphis versus LA. That's a 7. I think that's a 7.
I think it's a 7, but I think there's an off chance LA can close it out in 6.
Philly, Brooklyn. It depends on health. I can see that being a 5-game series.
5-6 for me.
Wait, which one? Sorry, I just got lost.
Philly, Brooklyn.
Philly, Brooklyn. 6, Philly.
6, Philly. Kings, Golden State. 4. Kings and 4. Kings are winning 16 straight games.
Golden State 6.
Yeah, I was about to say Golden State in 6 or 7. Yeah.
And my real answer is Kings and 6. Cleveland, New York.
4.
4.
4.
5. I think New York squeezes ones out in Madison. Or New York squeezes out Madison. Yeah, I think I said that right.
And then Phoenix, LA.
4.
4. Russell Westbrook he's gonna make J.R. Smith look like the smartest player.
I think this is gonna be a 7-game series.
What?
Yeah.
Does Kawhi load manage in the playoffs? So let's go ahead and jump ahead now. Let's make these predictions now.
Okay.
We'll do this week by week where we predict, not week by week, but series by series.
Kind of like a March Madness bracket where our bracket keeps getting busted, and we get to.
So we didn't talk about March Madness, but my bracket was done after day 1. All 4 of the teams I have had making the Final Four were done after day 1. It was embarrassing. The worst performance I've ever had in March Madness. So We're going to do it March Madness style, where we're predicting, but we're going to do it week by week, except for this. I want you guys right now to tell me who your Eastern Conference and Western Conference finalists are and who you've got winning it all.
Okay, I'll go first.
So wait, the representative of the East or the last two teams in the East and the last two
representative, East and West champions.
Okay.
East Boston, West Phoenix, Phoenix in 6.
That's a weird way to say Sacramento, but okay. Angelo?
Ooh. My heart and my head are telling me two different things.
He's gonna say Cleveland and LA.
East, yeah. East Milwaukee.
I can respect that.
I don't think they have. But if LA knocks off the Grizzlies, if my predictions are right, the West will be the Nuggets. Oh.
You ready for my curveball?
I said it. Go ahead.
I'm ready.
After all the crap I talked, it's gonna be Cleveland, Sacramento.
You did not just say that.
Cleveland, Sacramento. Let's go.
You did
Something
not just
different.
Hey, what's your real pick?
No, you
No,
did
that's my
not
real
just
pick.
say that.
That's my
You
real
did
pick.
not just say that.
That
You
is
did
my
not just say that.
full stop real pick.
My take is worse than that.
Your take is worse than that.
That take is worse than mine.
Lee.
Look. My reasoning is this, right?
There is none.
No. Listen, so I just did a March Madness bracket, right? I just talked about the fact that
He wants his bracket to get blown up.
No. So here's the thing. So statistically, if you look at the history of March Madness, you want at least 1 or 2 seeds in your Final Four, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. Okay, that was my bracket. Perfect. It was
Wait
amazing.
a minute. So do we have the same Final Four? Do you have Cavs Bucks versus Nuggets? Well, I don't have Kings, but versus Nuggets Kings.
Cavs Bucks at the end?
Yes.
That's not possible.
Oh, they had the 4-5
semifinals.
That is true.
So I have Cavs and Boston as Eastern Conference finalists, and then I've got Boston. Kings, Denver as Western Conference finalists. Look, I am all in on young, high-flying, high-energy, enjoyable to watch teams. And maybe that will be completely wrong after week 1 of the playoffs. I will take that risk, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I'm going all in on the crazy take. I'm not taking the easy picks. I'm going out there because if I am right, the victory lap will be unending. It will be a permanent victory lap.
You're not going to be right, but yes, it would be a very sweet victory lap.
The world would end. That would NBA.
That would be a very sweet victory lap. I will give you that. I will give you that.
Look, even if you don't think the Kings are good, right? Who doesn't want to see Sacramento succeed finally after all these years?
The NBA.
Me.
Why? They're such a fun team. They don't have a Demetrius. They don't have a Chris Paul. They don't have a LeBron. Like, there's no one on that team to hate, and they are just a fun team to watch. Why wouldn't you want a fun team to win?
Because that's not how the world works.
That has nothing to do with why you wouldn't want it.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you what I tell you.
Oh, we've been going for a while here.
It has not felt like long at all.
Yeah, it doesn't feel, but I think that's because we really have missed 2 weeks over the last 4. So it's kind of like when you go on a vacation and then come back and work like flies by.
Yeah. That doesn't happen to me, but yeah.
And also, like, this was a very animated opening to our episodes, which they've been more and more animated lately.
You're welcome. The cold open helped.
Oh,
it really didn't. It caused me a little bit of anxiety because I was fully in the middle of a sentence.
You were.
When he did the countdown. Like
I didn't even do the countdown. I literally hit join twice. Didn't even do the countdown. You missed it. Didn't even do the countdown.
Just clicked the record. I heard the button. Like I heard it chime in that we were recording. And like, yeah, no, that was not fun.
You went full panic. Panic.
It was full blown anxiety. Like
it's great.
Shaking.
It's great.
Heart rate spiked. It was all your fault.
It's great.
10 out of 10 would do it again.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
But that's, I think, all the time we've got tonight. That's all that I've got on my head to think about. You guys got anything to add?
Just a question, and I'm not sure if this is more an after-show question or an out-show question, but are we going to do another episode here soon, and when should we release this one?
So this one we will release on Sunday, as usual. I don't fully consider the playoffs having started yet. So I don't think we've actually really talked about it. So we want to do micro episodes during the playoffs. So we're going to do more episodes throughout the week, but they will be shorter so that we can stay on top of the games, but also not get killed by our significant others for locking ourselves in rooms for a significant amount of time every night.
Speak for yourself.
Well, you're different. So we won't start that this week because there aren't really playoff games this week. And we will get into that. And then going into, because we are in the 11th hour. The season is over. The playoffs will be over very soon. Like when you really think about it, we don't have that much basketball left. Going into the off season, we are going to continue releasing weekly. Obviously, as we get closer to the draft, free agency, training camps, that sort of thing, there will be more shows related to the NBA again. But going into that, so in that little lull period, it's going to be not necessarily variety episodes, but more of our outside the box episodes, whether it's, well, I don't want to say outside the box because they're kind of generic, whether it's doing, the draft we did with foreign-born players or...
Which I won, by the way.
You did.
Yes.
Like ranking.
Never
so
forget that.
What I'd like to do is at some point we will go through and we will rank our top 10s for each position. It'll be separate episodes because I think that if we're doing 10, we can spend enough time on that.
Yeah.
I'm jumping the gun here. These aren't things y'all need to know. These are just things we need to know. But we're planning on being very active during the off season, maintaining the same upload schedule, that sort of thing. So that all being said, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us every Sunday because we release every Sunday. We released one last week too. You just didn't see it. I swear it's there. Go look again. You will find it.
Yeah. Go look in Davy Jones's locker.
That was a terrible joke. I'm sure that sounded great in your head, but that was horrible.
It didn't. It sounded horrible in my head, and I love it now.
You still went with it? Okay.
I still went with it. I love it.
Okay, that was brave. I'll give it to you.
I am a brave cookie.
That just was cringy. God, why are you doing this at the end of the episode? So join us next week. We will be in full playoff swing mode, and we will basically be getting ready to celebrate the parade of the Sacramento Kings winning their first NBA championship.
Stop it.
My final thoughts is I actively had the stop thing up, and I actively debated stopping it in the middle of Rehn's diatribe. Anyway,
that would have been I would have been so mad after you started it if you had ended it. Oh my god, I would have been
That'd have been great.
It would have been hilarious, but I would have been so mad.
There's still time.
No, there's not. So join us next week. And join us throughout the entire playoffs. We're gonna hopefully have interesting news, players punching everyone, that sort of thing. So yeah, see y'all next week. Have a good week.